You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, 27th day of November, 2024. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here or right now. In honor of Thanksgiving, today's broadcast, I will do a performance of Ave Maria. Ave? Gotcha. No, I wouldn't dare. Do you sing out loud in church? I'm just curious because, well, where I'm at in the church during the time of the service, nobody can hear me, so I actually do sing out loud. But when I'm in a church where I'm sitting in the pews or the chairs along with everyone else, I just kind of move my lips because God gave me a lot of gifts, but singing. Actually, I can sing beautifully for like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. And then all of a sudden, my voice goes off on some key that's, I don't even think it's a real key. And so, what's the saying? Can't carry a tune in a bucket? Yeah, that would be me. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Glad to have you here. This is our second live broadcast of the day. The first live broadcast every trading day from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern. That is our live training room. That's reserved for members only and those who are taking their 1-week free trial. If you have not taken your 1-week free trial, when Michael joins us in about 50 minutes, he'll walk you through it step by step. It's a piece of cake. And I encourage you, if you haven't taken the trial, take it today so that we can get your indicators indicating today on the TradingView platform. Now, we're going to be closed tomorrow and Friday, and we're never open on Saturday and Sunday. Well, till Sunday night. We open Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. But if you sign up for the trial today, it won't officially start till Monday, but you'll have the next 4 days to kind of get familiar with the indicators. So that's pretty cool. And if you follow the instructions in the email that Valerie sends you when you sign up for the trial, you can join us Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern when the Globex market's open, because that's when I start sending out the alerts. Stock traders have to wait till Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, but for those of us that trade futures, we get busy Sunday night, 6 p.m. Eastern. Now, there's 2 different ways you can join the afternoon broadcast live, this broadcast. The first broadcast, that's private, as I said, members and trial members only. But this broadcast is open to the public, everybody everywhere on planet Earth with an internet-connected device. Now, the best way, you only have to do this once. Go to mytradingiq.com. Scroll down to where it says Noon Broadcast. Click the link, fill out the 30-second registration form, and you're done. It's going to log you into our platform the same day you do it if it's during the live broadcast. But more importantly, going forward, every trading day, you'll get an email about an hour before the broadcast starts. In the email, there's a link. So at 12 noon Eastern, all you have to do is click the link in the email, and it will automatically log you into our platform. Of course, there's going to be days you're out of the office, away from the desktop, but you still want to join live. And there'll be days when you're busy and can't join live, but want to get caught up later. You can do both of those via our YouTube channel, which is easy to remember. youtube.com/CFRN stands for the Christian Financial Radio Network since spring of 2005. But you don't have to remember all that. Just youtube.com/CFRN. Not only do we broadcast live every trading day, as we're doing right now, simulcasting if you will, but we also archive each and every daily broadcast. Currently, there's over 2,600 daily episodes archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. And if you're new to the world of CFRN, it's a great way to get to know who we really are. Thanks to the power of YouTube, you can scroll back 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, even more. Now, obviously, you're not going to watch them all, nor do you need to. But if you're curious, it's a great way for you to get to know how we got from where we were to where we are now. So just pick some days at random and check it out. Our schedule each and every day for the afternoon broadcast is our daily devotional. We're starting a new topic today. Word of prayer, some global and market news, then a recap of the Logic 247 alerts, the concierge trade alerts. Then about 12:50, Michael joins us and will give us a recap of what happened this morning in the live training room. Then we'll do some live trading on the TradingView platform for 30 minutes. And then I'll wrap things up with our good word for the day. Now, the topic that we've been on, gratitude, the game changer. It was really good. I enjoyed it. It was a 5-day devotional. So if you're curious, you can, of course, go watch it on YouTube or listen to it. But we're starting a new topic today. This one's 7 days. The title is Number Our Days. Psalm 90 reminds us of God's eternal nature and the fleeting, fragile nature of our lives. This psalm encourages us to number our days. Over the next 7 days, we will reflect on how to align our lives with God's eternal perspective by managing our time wisely, living with expectation, depending on His strength, and seeking His favor. I hope this devotional will bring you closer to God's heart and guide you to live each day with wisdom and joy. Our scripture today, Psalm 90, verse 2. It's about recognizing God's eternal nature. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world, from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. Psalm 90, verse 2, from the ESV translation. God exists beyond time. He was there before the mountains, before the earth, and before time itself. Our lives may seem long to us, but they are merely a moment in God's eternal timeline. Recognizing God's eternal nature helps us to see our lives in perspective and understand that He holds our time and future securely. So, a question: how does knowing God is eternal and unchanging bring you comfort during uncertain times? We'll dive deep into that over the next 6 days. Join me in a word of prayer. Now, I know not all of our listeners live in the U.S., but in the U.S. we do celebrate this holiday called Thanksgiving. Canada has Thanksgiving, but I think theirs is in October. Thanksgiving is a time to reflect on the blessings in our lives and express gratitude for God's goodness and faithfulness. Despite the challenges that we may face, there is always a reason to give thanks. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, reminding us of God's provision, love, and mercy. It deepens our trust in Him and cultivates joy in our hearts. As we sit around the Thanksgiving table this year, tomorrow, let us all be grateful for the gift of life, for the people who enrich our journey, and the opportunities we have to grow and serve others. Gratitude also reminds us of God's greatest gift, the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, through whom we receive salvation and eternal hope. As the Apostle Paul writes in 1 Thessalonians 5:16, rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Pray with me. Heavenly Father, this Thanksgiving, we pause to reflect on the countless blessings you have poured into our lives. Thank you for the gift of family, friends, and community, and for your steadfast love that never fails. In times of abundance and in times of trial, you remain faithful, providing for our needs and guiding our steps. Help us to cultivate hearts of gratitude, not just today, not just tomorrow, but every day, as we trust in your goodness and your grace. May our Thanksgiving honor you and inspire each of us to share your blessings with others. It's in Jesus' name we believe and pray. And everybody said, amen. Amen, and happy Wednesday. Let me give you the numbers from around the world. We'll start here in the U.S. with the cash markets, or the indices as they're called. Right now the Dow is down 61 points. The NASDAQ is down 232 points. That's almost 1.25%. S&P 500 is down 34. But the Russell 2000, our man in the street, is up 6.5 points. So we do have mixed markets, and I suspect it will be some pretty quiet holiday trade this afternoon. And typically, and I think I mentioned this yesterday, typically in the U.S., markets rally into a major holiday like Thanksgiving or Christmas or 4th of July or Labor Day or Memorial Day. So we may get a Christmas rally because it doesn't look like we're going to get a Thanksgiving rally. But you never know. Russell's in the green, so we'll see if the others turn around as we head into the afternoon session. In the commodity basket, crude oil is down 35 cents, trading 68.38 last. Gold's up 18 bucks, trading 26.64.30 last. Silver, down 32 cents, trading 30.08 last. That's just over 1%. In the Asian markets at the close, the Nikkei fell 307 points. The Shanghai rose 50, and for the Shanghai, that's 1.5%. The Hang Seng gained 443 points. That's over 2.25%. And in the European markets at the close, FTSE up 15, the DAX down 34, the CAC down 51. So we had a mixed day in Asia. It was a mixed day for the UK. And at the moment, it's a mixed Radio Wednesday here in the US of A. And as I'm watching the Russell here, it just may slide into the red with the other three major indices. Let's go to the news. Oh, how'd that happen? Hang on a minute. My news feed dropped the ball on me. Had it all ready to go, and then, yeah. Oh well. All right. Let's see if we can get on track here. Okie doke. Now we're cooking. Thanksgiving logistics. A record 80 million Americans will travel 50 miles or more over this Thanksgiving weekend. The majority, a record 71.7 million, by car. Millions more are expected to fly, including a record-breaking 3 million on Sunday alone. Over 80% of Americans will eat turkey, requiring an estimated 46 million birds to supply the feast. A recent survey suggests mashed potatoes, bread rolls, and pie will be standard fare. Macaroni and cheese consumption is highly regionalized. A typical holiday meal for 10 will cost $58 on average, down 5% from last year, and the lowest inflation-adjusted cost in the 39 years of the farmers' survey. Meteorologists are predicting a relatively wet and chilly Thanksgiving for half the country, with snow in the Midwest, rain on the East Coast. A cold front will impact close to 200 million Americans by Saturday. Now, the other day I questioned if Macy's, based on that news we got, if they would even have a Thanksgiving Day parade. Turns out they will, and it will take place, rain or shine, tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Obesity, it's a problem. Now, I'm a little suspect about this news. Remember, I talked to you the other day about the FDA and 50% of their funding comes from the pharmaceutical and food industry. Yeah, boy, that's a rigged game, right? But anyhow, the Biden administration introduced a proposal yesterday. Now, at this point, it's just a proposal to expand Medicare and Medicaid coverage to include popular weight loss medications like Wegovy and Zepbound. The initiative, led by the Department of Health and Human Services, would classify obesity as a treatable disease to reduce associated health risks, including heart disease and diabetes. Roughly 40% of Americans are considered clinically obese. Weight loss drugs can reduce weight by as much as 15 to 25% by regulating appetite, signaling to the brain that the body is full and reducing hunger. The proposed rule could reduce out-of-pocket costs for the drug, which can exceed $1,000 per month, by up to 95% for over 7.4 million Medicare and Medicaid beneficiaries. The estimated cost to taxpayers is $35 billion, that's B as in billion, over the next decade. Now, we've all seen the pharmaceutical commercials on TV. If it's a 60-second spot, they spend like 10 seconds telling you what the drug can do, and then the other 50 seconds telling you how your arms can fall off and your legs can fall off. And I personally know people who have done the gastric bypass surgery, and I'm sad to say, the ones I know have regained the weight. So I'm going to guess that a healthy diet and regular exercise is probably the best solution. So now, this proposal by Biden would not be finalized until after President-elect Donald Trump takes office. His HHS pick, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., has criticized the drug makers, instead seeking to prioritize access to healthy nutrition. And down south of the border, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum threatened regulatory tariffs on U.S. goods yesterday in response to President-elect Donald Trump's pledged 25% tariffs if Mexico fails to halt the flow of drugs and migrants into the U.S. Trump also indicated he would impose a 25% tariff on goods from Canada and an additional 10% tariff on goods from China. China, of course, is very indignant, but Justin Trudeau, he said, okay, no problem. We'll get busy and we'll shore up this northern border because we don't want those tariffs. Now, this Mexican president, Claudia, she wants to play chicken. It's like she's bringing a knife to a gunfight. She should just send the troops to the border. Remain in Mexico was a great policy, so Biden took it away, and that's where we need to go. And then they won't have the tariffs. Mexico's not involved in any wars right now, so they, it would at least give their soldiers something to do. They do have an army. The U.S. is the world's largest importer, with Mexico topping its list of trading partners, followed by Canada and China. The three North American countries exchanged $1.8 trillion worth of goods in 2022. Annual U.S. trade with China is about $600 billion. The U.S. is Mexico's top importer, with cars, food, and beer among the goods most likely to be impacted by tariffs. Canada supplied 60% of the U.S.'s crude oil, among other goods. The announcement shook up global markets yesterday, with automaker stocks especially hard hit. Canadian and Mexican currencies fell against the value of the dollar. He's back. The latest reading of the Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge showed price increases were flat in October from the prior month, raising questions over whether progress is getting to the central bank's 2% goal has stalled. The PCE index, which strips out food and energy because we don't use those, and is closely watched by the central bank, rose 0.3% from the prior month during October, in line with Wall Street's expectations for 0.3% and the reading from September. Over the prior year, core prices rose 2.8%, in line with Wall Street's expectations and above the 2.7% seen in September. On a yearly basis, overall PCE increased 2.3%, a pickup from the 2.1% seen in September. And apparently the Fed won't be in a hurry to cut rates unless it sees a more convincing decline in core PCE. Oh boy. Well, Jerome may be looking for a job come January. He says he refuses to be fired. Yeah, we'll see. Janet Yellen has resigned. And the rumor is, in the underground news world, that there's about to be some things exposed that have been going on in the Treasury Department and other places. And she just wants to get out before the stuff hits the fan. So I don't know when her resignation takes effect, if it's immediate or not, but I'm sure we'll see it and hear it in the news in the days to come. BYD Company has asked suppliers to accept price cuts next year in a signal the Chinese electric vehicle maker is preparing for the brutal price war in the world's biggest auto market to intensify. A screenshot of an email purportedly from the Shenzhen-based auto giant was circulating on social media today, demanding 10% price cuts from an unnamed supplier from January. Annual bargaining with suppliers is a common practice in the automotive industry, according to BYD's public relations and branding director. We put forward price reduction targets to suppliers. They're not mandatory. We can negotiate. Demand for options protections against a stock market crash is rising. Now, I don't trade options, but I know a lot of our members do. Demand for options protection against an equity market crash is rising, even as a post-election rally takes U.S. stocks to record highs. Worries about the possibility of a contested election dissipated following President-elect Donald Trump's victory earlier this month, helping the S&P 500 climb to an all-time high. The CBOE Volatility Index, the VIX, one measure of investor anxiety, closed near a post-election low of 14.1 yesterday. But several barometers gauging uptake for protection against extreme market swings, such as the nation's Taildex Index and the CBOE SKU, are picking up. While the rise in these indexes does not necessarily mean investors expect catastrophic events, they suggest elevated caution in the face of several weighty risks, including the potential of an inflationary snapback in global trade next year. One such risk came to the forefront late Monday when Trump pledged big tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China, which we already discussed. The U.S. economy expanded at a healthy 2.8% annual pace from July through September on strong consumer spending and a surge in exports, according to the government today. Yeah, people are spending, but they don't talk about the debt. The U.S. is 30 trillion in debt, but American consumers, their personal debt, credit card debt, that type of thing, HELOC loans, have never been higher. U.S. gross domestic product, the economy's output of goods and services, slowed from the April to July rate of 3%, according to the Commerce Department. But the GDP report still showed that the American economy, the world's largest, is proving surprisingly durable. Growth has topped 2% for 8 of the last 9 quarters. Tether. Northern Data AG is getting closer to a deal to sell its crypto mining operations as the company looks to capitalize on November's Bitcoin rally. The Frankfurt-listed company resolved in October to sell its crypto mining business. Weeks later, digital assets caught fire in the aftermath of the U.S. election of crypto-friendly Donald Trump. That's left Bitcoin flirting with the $100,000 level and added to the allure of crypto assets around the world. And wait, there's more. Bitcoin's price trajectory continues to captivate industry experts, with many predicting unprecedented highs before the year's end. Roundtable anchor Rob Nelson and Javier Rodriguez Alarcon, the chief commercial officer at XBTO, recently shared their insights on where the crypto might be headed. Rob Nelson expressed his optimism, stating, "I think it breaks 100,000 before the end of the year." Now, there's no guarantee on that. I know people think it's going to hit 125,000, acknowledging the uncertainties inherent in market analysis. Javier agreed with Nelson's outlook. "We were thinking about reaching 100,000 by the end of the year. Is very possible." Highlighting the current state of price discovery, he noted the difficulty in setting precise ranges, but remained bullish about hitting the $100,000 mark. And the last bit of news. The potential for Bitcoin to transform as a store of value, currency, and groundbreaking technology was at the forefront of a conversation that I just told you about. This is just a rehash of the same news. All right, let's move on. Bring it home. Logic 247. That's our 24/7 around-the-clock E-mini alert service. Now, it's not just E-minis, it's also crude, gold, silver, bonds. We're currently in week 330 of Logic 247. Over the last 330 weeks, we've issued over 18,500 individual handcrafted alerts. And what we've averaged on a weekly basis is 20% or less of the alerts being stopped out based on market structure and a very simple process we teach all of our passport holders in their one-on-one mentoring sessions. Now, Valerie did this recap this morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. So a number of things have changed since then. Plus I put out some additional alerts. So she'll do the final recap for the week this afternoon. But at the time she did the recap this morning, since the markets opened this past Sunday night, we had issued 44 total alerts. 5 never triggered. We were still waiting on 9. That gave us 30 actionable alerts, of which 4 or 13% would have been stopped out. Again, based on market structure and that very simple process we teach all of our passport holders in their one-on-one mentoring sessions. So for a short week, it's been a great week. Now every logic alert has an entry price and an initial target. That initial target is just designed to help you get your goal for the day. Then quite often additional targets and then a final trade to target. Of course you can trade them, but that's not the purpose of the alerts. The purpose of the alerts is to teach you how to read a chart. If you want to become a consistently profitable trader, if you want to trade for a living, first you got to learn how to read the chart. Okay? And we all learned how to read in kindergarten or before, first grade, whenever. But in the financial markets, you're looking at candles. There's no words, no sentences, no paragraphs. So you've got to learn how to read the chart. Once you've been with us a couple of months, you should be able to look at a 30-minute chart, or really any time frame of any market. Futures, stocks, crypto, Forex, ETFs, and instinctively know, along with the help of our very simple indicators, what the next high probability move is. In fact, I want to get you to the point where you don't need the alerts, because you can look at a chart yourself and see where potential support is, where potential resistance is, and then that allows you to find the window of opportunity between the two. So if you trade them, that's great. Just make sure you use them to also learn how to read a chart. Now the logic alerts can come out anytime around the clock, 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. Futures trade around the clock. We have traders around the globe. Their day session is our night session, and vice versa. Long before we had Logic 247, our original alert service was the concierge trade alerts, which we still have. Now, as I said, the logic alerts can come out anytime around the clock, but the CTAs are published as a static report shortly after the Globex open each evening. So the Wednesday session began last night at 6 p.m. Eastern. I got them out the minute the markets opened. If you're a member or trial member, make sure you read this information here. It's very important. If you don't understand any of it, ask me. I'll be glad to explain it to you. But what I want everybody to understand, the moment the markets opened last night, all of our members and all of our trial members had all of these targets: S&P 500, the Dow, the Russell, crude oil, NASDAQ, gold, silver, and bonds. Okay? So with that, we can now go to the daily chart of the S&P 500. And why do we always go to the daily chart of the S&P? Well, the S&P is sort of the bellwether of the indices. Wherever it goes, the others end up following eventually. But institutional traders look at daily, weekly, and monthly charts, the way you and I look at 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. Why? It has to do with account size. See, the institutional traders have massive account size, so they trade in massive size. So they're the ones who actually move price. So, whether you trade futures or stocks or crypto or Forex or ETFs, if you'll spend 2 minutes with the daily chart of whatever you're getting ready to trade before you start trading it, you're getting a free look over the shoulder of the deep pockets that move price. Would you really want to be buying today? I don't think so. Now, not only are you able to get a free look over the shoulder of the deep pockets by looking at the daily chart for 2 minutes, but you're able to identify where major resistance is. Now, today's high is 60.47. Yesterday was 60.44. So we took out yesterday's high by, all right, let me do it this way. On Monday, the high was 60.40. Yesterday we got up to 60.44. Last night we got up to 60.47. Now, when you take out the previous day's price by just a little bit, and on a daily chart, trust me, 3 points is just a little bit, that's a sign of weakness. Boom. Okay, so we know where resistance is. This is the all-time historic high. So you can't see that on your smaller time frame. You can't see that 60.53 is the next true major resistance. Basically, we got a triple top going across here. But where's support? Well, we're sitting on top of the step line. That's support. Red and falling turned to blue and climbing. That's support. The 50% fib extension. That's support. And the daily BBC, which is currently down at 59.48, that's major support. Now, the green lines called the BBC stands for bull bear cross. When price crosses below the green line, we expect lower prices. When price crosses above the green line, we expect higher prices. Lower prices, higher prices, lower prices, higher prices. But what's really important is the pullback to the BBC, and price always reverts to the mean. In our case, the mean is green. Call it the BBC, bull bear cross. Okay. Price pulls up to the BBC, the pullback holds. Now we know eventually price will trade through the BBC. That keeps the markets fluid and tradable, but then the pullback holds. Then we trade through, but then the pullback holds, and it 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 holds. We trade through, and we get down to this area where we knew there would be support. I mean, look at all these days where we had support in this area. This is what I mean about learning to read a chart. To know instinctively where to expect support, where to expect resistance. Then we had the historic presidential rally, new all-time historic high, and then we pulled back to the BBC, and it held for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. And then it looked like we were going to put in a new all-time historic high, and we will eventually, because the indices always go higher over time. That's how they're built. See, the S&P is an example. That's 500 large cap companies. If any one of those 500 large cap companies starts to miss their earnings or have other problems that no longer meet the long list of qualifications to be a part of the S&P 500, there's a board over at Standard & Poor's that makes these decisions. If one of these 500 companies gets weak, they're going to kick them to the curb and replace them with a strong, healthy, bullish company. So, yes, we're going to have retracements. Yes, we're going to have sell-offs. But over time, the indices will always move higher. The same is true of the Dow, that's 30 blue chip stocks, the NASDAQ 100, or the Russell 2000, which is 2,000 small cap companies. Over time, they're always going to go higher. Now, my son's 22. I'm going to do my best this Thanksgiving weekend to get him to open an account at Robinhood and start plugging $100 a week into an S&P 500 based ETF like the Spider. Whether the markets are up or down, every week, bang, another $100. Bang, another $100. Hey, when the price sells off, you get more bang for your buck. If he does that, by the time he's 40, 45, he's 21, he's 22 now. By the time he's 45, he'll be ready to retire. If you have some young person in your life, maybe a child, maybe a grandchild, maybe a great-grandchild, you should have that conversation with them over Thanksgiving dinner. In fact, if you're in a position to do it, sit down with them, whip out your phone, help them open their account. You can do it instantaneously over Robinhood. And then you can use your credit card or whatever to fund the first $100. But tell them, say, now if I do this, now maybe depending upon what kind of job they have, maybe they can only do $50 a week or even 25 a week. But if they'll start at a young age, they won't have to worry about retirement the way some of us do. Okay? All right. The Logic 247 alerts and the Concierge Trade alerts are all created on the 30-minute chart. Nothing magic about 30 minutes, it's just the time frame I chose many years ago, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The vertical line separates today, Wednesday, from Tuesday. Go back a little bit, and we can see Monday. This was the gap higher open Sunday night. When price drops to a zone, we expect support till proven otherwise. When it rallies up to a zone, we expect resistance till proven otherwise. Support, resistance, you get the idea. Support, which bounced us into resistance, which sent us down to this zone where we found support. We've published the zones every week for our members since December 14th of 2009. This December is going to mark 15 years. They come out Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, and once they're published, they're carved in stone for the entire week. They don't change in any way whatsoever. So here's the zones doing their job on a Wednesday, on zones published Monday. 70% of the time you'll get consolidation. 20% of the time rejection. 10% of the time the slice. Notice this candle here. It sliced through the zone on the 30-minute chart like it wasn't even there. But when it ran out of steam, it retraced back to the zone it sliced through and then continued in the direction of the slice. How cool is that? Now this low, just follow the horizontal line on my cursor. Can you see that that's a good spot to expect support? Huh? Good. Support always sends the market looking for resistance. Remember, when price moves up to a zone, we expect resistance. So now, if price, in fact, a good trade right now would be 6,004 down to 6,000. Down to 6,000. That's 4 points. You only need 2 points to get your goal for the day. Then you got to let price get below here. And then right here where you see the step line crossing red and falling, wait for price to get down here at about 59.94. Trade it down to 59.90. There's another 4 points. And then 59.87. Can we do? Yeah. Yeah, 59.87. Make it 86. How about that? Just play it safe. Down to the zone at 78.79. What's that? 9 points. In fact, if you want, you could wait for price to get below the body of that candle. I mean, you could play it super conservative and go 59.81 down to 59.79. And that would be your goal for the day, 2 points. Okay. You can be as conservative or as aggressive as you want. You see what's happening here? There's no magic, there's no voodoo. It's just how markets work. They go from support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over, again and again. Never-ending cycle. And you see the pullback to the BBC holes more often than it doesn't. Markets are fractal in nature, so's the BBC. You can put it on a daily chart, weekly chart, monthly chart, 30-minute chart, 5-minute chart, tick chart, range chart. If price gets above that green line, expect higher prices. If it gets below the green line, expect lower prices relative to whatever time frame you're looking at. Okay? All right, the Dow. Here's where we opened last night. Oh, we never hit the long target because we just barely took out yesterday's high and then failed. Okay? Consolidated at the BBC, hit the zone support, which bounced us up to the BBC resistance, which sent us down to support at the short target and the zone. Okay. The Dow. Here's where we opened. We had blue and climbing overhead, which became red and falling, and that took price all the way down below the BBC. Now, you see that little crack right there? Support. That set us up to the long target. Now we're headed down to the zone, and if we can get through the zone, this bullish cross right here, that's when the blue line gets above the green line. That's called a bullish cross. When you have a bullish cross that leads to an extended move, the first time price revisits that area will almost always be good support. So if the Dow continues to drop, remember this number, 44,785. It's probably going to be good for a bounce. On the Russell, here's where we opened last night. Just waddled sideways until, where's the London Open? There's a London Open. So we came down to the zone, 2431/32. That support sent us up to resistance at this zone, where again we consolidated like we do 70% of the time. Then we reached up and hit the long target, came back to the BBC support, the pullback held, and boom, we hit it again. Okay. Then we got below the BBC with red and falling overhead, and that took us down to the zone where we found support. Support, 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 support. 2431/32. Again, these are the zones that were published Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern. The NQ. Here's where we open. We ran up to the zone and stalled out. We failed to take out yesterday's high. See, here's Monday's high, Tuesday's high, today's high. Lower highs, that's a downtrend. So we got below the BBC and we pulled back up and touched the zone and then dropped. We hit the zone below, consolidated, then hit the target, and then bounced back and forth from the target to the zone to the target, back to the BBC. The pullback holds more often than not. And look at how far we've dropped on the NQ. But what are we doing right now? We're consolidating at the zone. Now, somebody's probably wondering, why did price stop falling there? We overshot this by just a little bit. Now notice how the step line is starting to curve to the right. See, all the way down you had the perfect stack. Price, step line, red and falling, BBC. But you see the step line is starting to hook right. And once that black step line crosses to the right side of red and falling, then you're going to see price most likely retrace back to the BBC. Happens over and over, again and again. It's happened 100% of the time? No. Very few things in the markets happen 100% of the time. Some things do happen 100% of the time. Like important prices, important areas are almost always tested. That's a true story. Crude. This was the opening candle. So basically we had a pull from yesterday. We pulled up to the BBC, the pullback held, and it sent us down to the zone where we found support. Then the market kept trying to go higher. And where did it get to? You see this bearish cross that led to an extended move. That's when the red line gets below the green line, bearish cross. See right where it crossed? That's these tops right across here. A bearish cross that leads to an extended move. The first time price revisits that area will almost always be good resistance. But this time it wasn't just the first time. It was multiple times. And that's now taken crude almost down to the short target. Gold, this is where we opened, right here, pulled back to the BBC, the pullback held, and man, off we go. The opening of this candle right here, we opened at 2631.6, so let's just be conservative and call it 2632. From 32 we ran up $1,100 per contract traded to the target, and then we got through the target, and then price pulled back to the BBC, pullback held. That sent us all the way up to the zone, which we expect to be resistance till proven otherwise. That sent us down below the BBC with red and falling. Now we're just consolidating sideways here, but you see that step line? It's hooking right, which means we're probably going to just consolidate into the close. That's my guess. Now we've got a number of markets that we're rolling forward next week. So on Sunday night, I'll put a note in the discussion group, but I think Sunday night I'll be rolling crude, gold, possibly silver, and bonds. So, but again, I'll notify you in the discussion group, in the trial discussion group, and you'll see the new symbols when I post the alerts. Silver. This is where we opened last night, and we dropped right to the target. Pretty much to the tick. Target was 30.35, and the low was 30.33.5. You only need 2 pennies in silver to get your goal for the day. So this support sent us looking for resistance. Oh, see how we sliced and then retraced to the zone we sliced through, continued in the direction of the slice right up to the target. Love it when that happens. Resistance, then it's down, retracement, leg, retracement, pullback held, and now we've dropped through the short target, and we could head lower. One last look at the daily chart. We're sitting right on top of resistance at the daily step line, then blue and climbing, then the 50% fib extension, and then the daily BBC. Over here is the all-time historic high. We had 3 days where we put in 60-40, and then yesterday 60-44, and then last night 60-47, but the all-time historic high is 60-53. So we've had a series of lower highs. And Michael is here. He's going to give us a recap of everything that happened in the live training room this morning. Then we'll do some live trading on TradingView if there's anything to trade. This is pre-holiday trade, so it may be very quiet. And then I'll wrap things up with our good word for the day.
Yes, indeed. Here we go. Here we go.
All right.
All right.
Good.
Okay. So this. All right. Now we don't have the next page ready for this yet, but the registration page, because well, I'll have to make my own, and we'll get it ready for next week. But this is how you take a free trial. You go here to mytradingiq.com. All right. When you sign up here, go here to mytradingiq.com. Right here, click on this button. Now there is no credit card required for the trial. Just go in here and fill this out. Even though right now, let me just check. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to make a new one of these. Okay, but what you do is go in here and click on this button right here, and there's no credit card required for the trial. All that we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number, and then we ask for your Ninja machine ID if you're going to use Ninja charts, or your TradingView login ID if you can use TradingView charts. All right, we recommend you use TradingView charts because TradingView is the only one that's got the TV trades range trigger on it. All right, so we recommend you use TradingView charts. And if you don't have TradingView charts, then go here to mytradingiq.com. Right here where it says trading platforms, click on that and follow the instructions right here to get TradingView charts. All right, that's all you need to do to get the TradingView charts. Follow that instruction, click on this button right here, and join up. Now they're having a super sale right now on the TradingView charts. This is what it's like right now on the TradingView charts. Sign up for the premium. That's a really good deal, and this is too. But this is, I mean, it's 70% deal, and it's, you know, it's obviously just $1 more than the plus. But if you don't use more than 4 charts, you don't use more than 100 alerts, then there's no real benefit to you getting the premium over the plus. And at the end of the year, you know, the bounce from, you know, this saves you 502 and this saves you 143. The difference is going to show up at the end of the year. All right, that's where that's going to make a big deal. If you just use 2 charts, then the essential is going to work out just fine for you. 20 alerts, 2 charts, right? But it is a super deal, and you know they do these a couple times a year, but right now is one of them, and so you can jump on it right now if you want to. I am going to do something. I think I'm too late. I was going to go long right here on the ES at 10.5. It's already gone up to 11.5, so it's too late. We're not getting a lot of movement in the markets right now, so I'm just trying to remain cognizant of what is going on here. So anyway, take the free trial. Click on the purple button right here on the home page. Click on the purple button. Sign up for the free trial. I will fix that. I'll add a new page in there in just a few minutes here. That's something that I should have done, but I will do it. And yeah, and that's that. So we'll get into the spreadsheet here now. On the spreadsheet, if you can read the spreadsheet, you can read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today, as I said, is the 27th day of November 2024. We made 76 ticks on the NQ, 24 ticks on the Russell, 29 ticks on the gold, and we lost 10 on the ES. That put us at 665 on the morning session. That was our first trade of the day right there. And our only trade on the ES. That put us at 665 on the morning session. It took 20 minutes and 6 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we were up $1,540. We took a total of 13 trades this morning. So on the month now, we're at $11,697. Over 19 business days, averaging $615 per contract per 2-hour business day. On the year, we are now at $112,067, averaging $500 right on the money there, $500.30 per contract per morning session. Okay, now the 24/20 blueprint went pretty well today. I don't know if we added or subtracted from it all because we took 20 minutes, but we did get up to $1,540 in 20 minutes. So if you do that on an hourly rate, that'd be 60. That'd be 3 times that, be $4,500. Yeah, so it went up. Anyway, I just did all that math right there in my head. Let me go over here and look at this. So if you were to add one contract per month after getting one contract per month after getting your goal for the day and quitting trading, 24/20 blueprint says you get the goal for the day and you stop trading. And then as you earn $2,000 per contract, you can add another contract. So this is our last day trading 11 contracts. Next month on Monday, we had to earn $22,000 quitting when we got the goal for the day, and we got up to $32,230 this month. So on Monday, we'll start trading 12 contracts, and we'll move on from there. Now, Monday puts us right here. All right, Monday puts us right here on the 2nd. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days of this left. 10 days. And there's no guarantee they're not gonna do it before then. They say the latest that they're gonna discontinue it is on the 13th. There's no guarantee they'll wait till the 13th either. So you guys got to be prepared. All right, be prepared to make the change. I'm learning as much as I can about it, so I'll be able to help you with it, but you should all be prepared. All right. They really should do a little more to help with the preparation. But they think they've done a lot by sending out the videos they have. Anyway, that's what we did on the year, on the day, and the month. All right. On the day, we're up 665. On the month, we're going to end the month of November with $11,697. And on the year, we're at $112,067 so far. Okay. Now let's get into the actual trades, and then I'll go into a little bit about the CQG stuff. All right. I'm going to focus more on the CQG stuff today than I am on the Sierra chart stuff, because not everybody's going to Sierra. I am going to Sierra, but not everybody is. So the trades that we did take on the gold today, we took, it's like a few trades. The trades that we did take, though, were not on this contract. They were on the last contract. So let's go here to the Z contract. Right. We rolled the gold contract today. Okay, so on Sunday, when the new stuff comes out on Sunday, Dwayne is going to be doing it with the new contract. Let's just put that on there. The trades that we took today. Let's get in here. Okay, we started out. It doesn't show all of them. We had one break-even trade. No, we had another one that I didn't put in here. I must have put it on the other chart. But our first trade on gold was right here. We picked up 10 on that one. Then the next trade, we picked up 5 to get us to 15. And then I think we rolled. So I'll roll it right now and go back to the next contract, which is February. The F. I'm sorry, F is January. It's not this one. It's the G contract. G. This was it, and this was the trade that we took. The other trade that we took on gold was right here. We picked up 14 ticks on that one. We went from 15 to 29, so we picked up 14 ticks on that one right there. All right. Other than that, we got into the lesson plan, so I didn't trade it anymore. But it looks like there was a trade, not there, right here. There was a trade. Nice trade right there. This was a trade here, and it went a little bit into profit. It didn't move all that much, enough to get you stop to break even. And this was another one, enough to get you stop to break even and get over here. This was a decent trade right here. Right there was a decent trade. And over here, the ribbon, if I spread it out, you'll see there's 4 lines in the ribbon. That was a good trade right there. And this was all during the break now. This right here, if I spread it out, you'll see there's 4 lines in the ribbon there. and that put in a lower swing, so you could have taken the second one too. So those in there, this is a 9-tick range. So you had about 10 ticks there and another 10 ticks there, and it's about to set up another one right now. So there is a chance that you have another trade right here on the gold. Now my DOMs seem to be frozen here. I've been going. It seems like my data connection has been messed up today. It's been logging off and logging back on a couple of times. And I did get a new router thing last weekend, so maybe that's got something to do with it. Anyway, there's possibly going to be a trade here on a down close on the gold. It's got a high right now of this right here at 64.2, so you'll be selling 63.2 down here. Okay, that's what we'll be selling on the gold. But that was it. That was all we did on gold today. And we'll get into the Russell. The Russell today, we only had a couple of trades. This one right here, we picked up 5. And this one right here, we picked up 19. Maybe I just get 19, but we got 19 on that one. That put us at plus 24 overall on the Russell. We got into the lesson plan all through here. We got choppy. And there was one trade right here during the break, right here. All right, other than that, there was really nothing. So the Russell was kind of dry and slow and choppy. And the ES, we had our one trade on the ES right at the beginning, right there. And we stopped out minus 10 ticks. That was all we did on the ES. Now, all through here, this was the swing low. We need to get down below this swing low to take any more trades on the short side. And that didn't happen until all the way over here. All right. And there was a trade here that went right down into the zone. Stopped at the zone, then it had to go through that, pull back, give you another one, and it didn't give another trade until all the way over here. So the ES is hardly giving you anything to work with today. There was another one right here, right inside the zone. You can't use that. Nothing else. It's just been a bunch of trash today. Not anything good to trade in there. Now on the NQ, we'll go back to the beginning here on the NQ. Of course, the NQ is where we made the most today. Yeah, we're 76 ticks on the NQ. Let's get in here. This is where we got the goal for the day on this one right here. All right, we started out with 4 ticks on the NQ. Very first trade, I think. Actually, it wasn't this one we got the goal. We got 4 ticks on that one. Then we had a break even, and this is where we got the goal for the day. Right there, we picked up 24 ticks on that to get us to 28. I think that was where we got 28. Anyway, we went from 28 to 40, so we got 12 more ticks there. And then went from 40 to 60. No, I'm sorry, we went from 40 to 48. So we got 8 ticks, then we had a break even, and then went from 48 to 60. I think on this one went from 48 to 60. So that was 12 ticks, then went from 60 to 76. Somewhere else in here, we went from 50 to 76. So there was one more trade where we picked up 16 ticks. And we ended with 76 ticks on the NQ. See, during the break, we had a nice lower swing here. So you could have taken this trade right here. All right, during the break, it put in a lower swing. So you could have taken this trade right here. That gave enough to get the stop to break even. Put in a lower swing again. So you could have taken this one. Actually, this one right here. That would have stopped you out. So you couldn't take that. Then it turned around and it gave you this right here, which was an okay trade. It gave you this right here, which was an okay trade. Then you couldn't take this because you're going right into the zone. And that brings us right. And that was it on the NQ. All right, so we ended up with plus 76 ticks on the NQ today. Let's go look at something else in here. Dwayne was saying that this was up 5%. So let's go have a look. Look at it. It was pretty much from the open. Bitcoin just went up from the open. And this is a nice retracement right here. This retracement that it did from here to here, this right here is a good retracement leg. You can draw it from here if you want. But you see it's almost 50% from there. But if you draw it up, you move the bottom up to right there, then it becomes even more attractive to me anyway, because you hit that 50% retracement right there and bounced off it. Okay, so that's what it's doing right now. And I don't know what this is. What is that? Personal income month over month, all the news events that we had going on. Okay, so we had that today, and that on December 2nd, that's Monday, and this on Tuesday. Huh, I don't have that on all my charts. Anyway, that's what Bitcoin's doing right now. And we'll go out one more and see what's going on over here. Silver. Silver's making a little bit of a run. I had a really good run yesterday. Actually, it's dropped so far today, but I had a pretty good run yesterday. One more, and we'll see what's happening here. This is the YM, and today I had one trade right here. That was from the pre-market. Let's go out one more, and we have Tesla, I believe. Yeah, Tesla on the 50 range. And in here, using the same stuff we always use. We've been buying when you have the ribbon and it comes out of the oversold. So every one of those worked out pretty well. Except that one. So Tesla's been behaving pretty well today too. It's good stuff. All right, back in here, we'll see if we get any trade setups. It's 1:11, so we have 19 minutes left in here. There's a chance we'll get another trade setup in here. See, the NQ made a nice run right there. The S is making a nice run. These two marks aren't really doing anything, but they could move. You never know. I did say I was going to show you a little bit about CQG again. So let's just bring up the CQG. Here it is. All right. So when you turn CQG on, it probably has all the quote boards up here. You know, when you just log off and log back on the CQG, it comes up with all these quote boards. You know, you have the indices, you have the metals, you have the softs, you have financials, all that stuff up there. All right. So from here, when you get this group of things, let me see if I can go back to the beginning. Let me reload the site, see if it loads up the way it will for everybody else. I think it's going to. Nope, it didn't. Undo custom. Anyway, once you get to this point right here and you have all the indices, all the quote boards are in here, the whole thing will be filled up with the different quote boards. If you want to go to a DOM on one of those quote boards, you just click on the symbol. Like we don't have the ES anymore, we now have the EP. You can see Emini S&P 500 December. Click on that, click on trade, go to hybrid order ticket. All right, you can say open new page and proceed, or duplicate this page and proceed. We'll just say open new page and proceed. No, cancel, just go with this. All right, this is your hybrid order ticket. All right, so this is your DOM. And to place the trade on the DOM, well, there's a couple of things first. Yesterday, I had a question up here. You see up here, this is where you can go to change symbols if you want to. Right in here, you can add to the list. You can replace things that are in your list right here. Okay, replace these things that are in your list with other things if you want to. Let me go back to that again. You can manage your your hybrid order ticket. You can manage it. Click on that. It's got all this information in here. If you go to settings, preferences down here. Sorry, preferences down here. This is where you can determine whether you want notifications to pop up on every trade that you take. All right, right in here. Don't show user message shows to show user message shows. You know, that's where you determine that. If you want to place a trade at one of these right here or down here, you just have to right click right in here in between the color and the price, right click in there. Choose what kind of order you want to place. All right, do you want to do a buy market, a sell market? Do you want to do a buy stop or a sell? This is a buy stop or a sell limit. You can do either one of those up here if you want to. Okay, so you right click in there and you do that. That's how you put that on. If you want to set up a bracket, come down here to OCO, click on that. Then you can go to bracket mode and do custom bracket settings. In here, I have a 10 by 30 bracket created for this, okay? A 10 by 30 bracket created. So you have to go okay on that, and then you have to highlight it. then you actually have a bracket. So if I put a trade on right here, if I do buy one stop, see, it's got my order right there, my stop right there, and my target up here. Okay. I told Cliff I was going to go through this stuff today. So I just wanted to take a moment and go through it, because you guys are all going to have to learn how to do this, because this is what your default is going to be. I'm not going to use this, but this is what your default is going to be. So I had told Dwayne that I was going to learn how to do this. Now, if you want to go to the chart, you can just go to the chart, pick whatever kind of chart you want. Let's do duplicate this page and proceed. We'll go to this. So here's your chart. Now, I haven't quite figured out how to trade on the chart yet, but if you do place a trade, like let's go back here to our hot, and we'll place a trade. Let's just buy right here. All right, let's just buy one market. Okay, so now we're in right here. We're long right there where that green line is. All right, it says right up here we're long at 60.14. This is the current status of the trade. I'm actually long too. And yeah, one of them got filled up there. That's an order that hasn't filled. Let me cancel that. Okay, so we're long just one right here. Okay, and now it's in profit 2 ticks. See right here, it's in profit 2 ticks. It doesn't have a target or anything like that on it. But if we go out here to the 60-minute chart, you can see it right there. This is our order right in here. That got us along. Okay, so you can see it right in there. And if I had targets and stops on it, let me go back and play with that a little bit and see if I can do that. Let me sell one market so we're flat. Okay, and now that just put my bracket on going the other way. So let me hit cancel all. I don't know exactly how to do that. If I right click here, and just cancel that. That'll probably do it. If I cancel that, that should cancel the other ones too. But I'll just go manually cancel them. Okay, they're all canceled. So right now I have the bracket on, and if I go long one, then I have my stop and my target on there. So let's go back here to the chart, and you see right here, there's my entry, there's my stop, and there's my target. Okay, you see them in there. When I hover over it, it says when I hover over it says what it is right there. All right, and there's my stop, and there's my target. So this is an OCO. Let me stretch it out this way.
That's a lot of information for a hover.
It is. I just hover like that, and it gives you all that stuff right there.
Wow.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure this is an OCO. So I don't know exactly how you would go about moving this. I think right here you can move these things around and change something here. No, just dragging is just moving the whole thing up and down. Maybe there's some other way I can do it.
What if you grab that little square over there, the thing you were hovering over? Does that allow you to drag
this one?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm sure
there's a way to do it to drag the stops around.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I just want to, as I learn, I want to show you guys so everybody gets
that's great. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Everybody gets a little bit, because you're all going to have to do this soon. All right.
Yep.
Now I'm learning Sierra charts too, so I'm going to be using the Sierra charts, but I'm going to learn this. I told you guys I was going to learn this too, so I could show you on this. In here, you can drag your stops around, right? Just like that. You can drag all that stuff around right here on your DOM.
You mean you're going to be using Sierra DOMs?
Yeah, Sierra DOMs. That's what I mean, Sierra DOMs. Yeah. Right. So like right now, I can lock in some profit by dragging this up here and lock in 2 ticks. Or, 1 tick. Lock in 1 tick there because we're entered right here. And so I just locked in 1 tick on this trade. Now my target is way up here. And so I can just manage a trade like this. So it's, once you get used to it, it'll be something that you can do. It's something that's functional that you'll be able to do. It's not as horrible as I thought it was at the beginning. I don't like change, but
I agree.
We have to adapt. We have to. We don't have a choice.
We don't have any choice. Yeah. So December 13th is the day, or is it December 12th?
Well, they say no later than December 13th it's going to be discontinued. No later than. So that means it could be before then.
Yeah, so I better be ready to go by the 10th.
Yeah, so you got to be prepped.
Maybe next week, by midweek, maybe I'll do the afternoon broadcast on TradingView charts instead of DT Pro, so that if I stumble and fall, oh well, I got time to figure it out.
Yeah, and I'll look into getting the numbers on the lines for you. That shouldn't be too hard to do.
Yeah, if you can.
Um,
Don't. I know you got a lot on your plate, so. But if
gonna
it's
ask
something
ChatGPT.
simple, that'd be cool.
I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT to do it, and
Okay.
then they'll come up with a base. They'll come up with a base for it, and then I
All
can
right.
fix it and make it
Fair
work.
enough.
So I'll try that. At some point, maybe today, maybe not today. I gotta create that the new page for the link on the website. Otherwise,
Okay.
that's gonna go to nowhere right now, and that's not good. So you see my stop is about to get hit right here. My trailed stop, that's at plus 1, 2, 3 ticks. We're sitting at plus 3 ticks there. And so it's about to get hit and take me out. Now, I could move my target down and possibly, so I think I just took myself out. Nobody just took me out. But you see, it just cleared the whole bracket though. It was an OCO order that just cleared everything off by getting me out of the trade. And that's it. That's all you have to do. It's not horrible. It's just not going to work for me.
Those colors on like the green and the red, are they changeable in any way?
I don't know about that. I think they were pretty limited with the color change stuff.
It's such a garish color.
It is. It's green. Yeah.
The red's more like almost like an orange. Yeah.
Buy sell colors right here. Buy sell colors. So these are the colors you can choose from.
Blue, red, green, red, red, blue,
yep.
red, green.
Huh. That's it. Blue, red, red, green. Those are the colors you can choose from.
Okay.
So this is the color that it was. Well, actually, it changed it now. So I guess I'm stuck with this one now. I don't know. That's a little better, I think. I don't know. It's still kind of big. I'm jumping out at you. But yeah, they're very limited with the color change stuff. And, they're also limited with the API, the programmer interface. I think this is a watered down version of StoneX. I'm sorry, a watered down version of CQG.
Okay.
So they're not going to allow us to go in and create our own indicators, because I was looking all over the place for that last night. I found a video that's 13 years old that showed me how to do it, but none of that stuff is still active anymore. And I was trying to open a separate account with CQG, but apparently I've done that. I did that. It was the first thing I looked at, and because I already did it a month ago, they're not going to let me try to do it again. So to see if they, the full version would allow me to go and create something that I could actually use in this version, because, I think essentially I'm going to create a DLL that I'm going to be able to stick somewhere that this will pull in, and it might be, we might be able to get our indicators on. I don't know. But this is it for today's lesson. How to create a bracket. Come down here, you click on that. Well, really, when it's just OCO, when you click on it when it says OCO, like this.
This is an AI thing. Yes, you can create custom indicators for CQG using its built-in custom studies builder feature, which allows you to find your own technical indicators and analysis formulas by writing code based on market data, enabling tailored analysis specific to your trading strategies. You can also leverage CQG's charting API for more complex custom indicator development with external data integration and advanced visual. Yeah, that's way above my pay grade. So.
Yeah, well, it doesn't actually have that. This version doesn't have that custom build thing. I think they took that out for some reason.
Gotcha.
But anyway, to set a bracket up, this is what it looks like by default. It just says OCO like that. You come down here and you do custom bracket settings, and come in here and fill in what you want for your settings. You can put in the type of stop you want, the type of in that order. That's all you have to do is set that up. You say, okay, now you're going to have to do this for every DOM that you're going to have, for every market you're going to have. This is for the ES. I have a 10 by 30 bracket on the ES. Then highlight it.
When you turn it on, if you were to close it down and open it back up, would it still be turned on?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Let me just refresh it and see. Because I don't think that there's a save to this.
Okay.
There probably is. There probably is some way to save this. Go to preferences, layout, desktop, language, search preferences, change password, trader, display setting for symbol. There's got to be a way to save this. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be some way to save this for each one. Yeah, I created a new display name already once.
Yeah, I
There's
know.
gonna
I
be a way
saw
to
it
save
said
this
my trading IQ
market.
right there. Maybe in that
Yeah.
area there's a save button somewhere. I don't know.
But if I refresh this right now, since I've already set it, if I refresh it, we'll see if it comes back up with it already set. I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to come back up with the quote board. Nope, it came back. Look, it did. Look, it did. It saved it.
Interesting.
All right, well, let me go. Leaving site changes may not be saved. Right, so that suggests that there is a way to save it. Right?
Oh, yeah. That definitely says, yeah.
I don't know what it
What's under
is, but
utilities? What's under that? That
there
little
wasn't
wrench
much
on the
under it,
left.
if I
On
remember
the
it. Yeah,
left.
right
Yeah.
here. There wasn't much under it. Formulas, and this is where I
Not
thought we
much.
were going to be able to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where I thought we are going to be able to find that thing, because this is where it says it is. Up here,
Mm-hmm.
you can go in here and choose a different kind of formula that you want to do. Choose like in here.
Mm-hmm.
It should have the option to choose a study when you click on that, but it doesn't.
Gotcha.
So, I spent some time with this, and
Maybe they're not done working on it. Maybe StoneX is not done working on it yet.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. And that concludes today's lesson. See that?
All
I
right.
just stopped. So, see, it just says OCO now, and it doesn't say what it is. So let's see if it remembered my OCO. Right? We'll do buy one stop. Nope, it didn't remember it. See, it doesn't have my stop on there. So I would have to set it all up again. Go to exit OCO without submitting orders. It's because I had a half order set. I think that's what it was.
What's that TP 30 ticks SL?
Yeah, that's it right there. That's
okay.
the one. That's the one that was saved right there. So I guess you can go in and save a bunch of them. Let's do another one. Let me create another bracket. Let's go here to exit bracket mode, and then we'll go in here and we'll do custom bracket settings. I don't want it to be for EP though. Let's cancel. We'll change this to another symbol. Go to the YM. Okay, and on this one we'll have a different bracket. See, this has a TP of 7 and 5. But
So they call ESEP? No?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, that's going to take some getting used to.
Yeah, I know. So on this, I wish I could just type it in. We'll put a 50. What is my target? It's a 45. It's a 45 by
and
25.
25? Yeah.
Yeah, on the YM 19 range, it's a 25 by 45 with a 19 range on the YM is what I use. Okay, so I'll do that, and then it's here. Now, if I click on it, and this is the YM, so let's just throw an order on right here. We'll do buy one stop. So my stop is down here. My target is way up there. That all works. Now, if I close that, and I go in here and I do OCO. Okay, just remember the last one. But let me change the symbol again and see if I remember the ES one. Go back to the ES. See, it says ESZ right there. But see, it doesn't have an ES. We got to try symbol info. Replace with not ES but EP. EPZ, this one right here. Now let's see if I remembered the thing. There it is right there. It did remember it. See that?
Nice.
Okay, so we're learning. We're learning. It's learning. So I just got to turn it on. Just hit that. Put it on to buy one market. Nope, you got to actually select the individual thing. That didn't work. So undo that. Come in here. Choose this one. Then come in here and do buy one market or buy one stop. Nope, it still didn't put it on. Look, it's got something way down here. What the heck's going on with that?
Well, that's 25 ticks down.
Yeah, that was left over from the other one, I think.
Oh.
Here, let's try to. Oh, I didn't turn it on. I got to click it. I didn't turn it on. There, now we'll do buy one stop. Still not right. Parked. It says it's done it. This is 10 ticks away. That's right. And this is 20 ticks away. I'm just not seeing it. Why am I not seeing that? Oh, it's right here. It did
Yeah,
do it. It's right
there
here.
you go.
Okay, it's right there.
Sweet.
Right, there's the other one. All right, so it did remember. You just got to remember to turn it on. All right. So I know that was a lot of stuff. A
So
lot of
those
stuff
of
in it.
you that are going to be using this, I recommend that you start playing with your demo account,
Yes.
so that when the day comes, you're still going to be a little shaky, but you won't be completely flat-footed. You'll have some kind of idea.
And
Yeah.
and when you do go live, you might want to go live in the micros first while you
Oh,
still
yeah.
work it. While you're still
Definitely.
working it all out.
Yeah.
It's
I
a trade
agree.
here on the end. Get our one trade off. It's time to wrap it up, but we'll just get one trade off here on the NQ. All right, that was a valid trade right there, and we're gonna lock in. That looks like 12 ticks right there. Oops, that's 20 right there.
Nice. Oh, wait,
And
there's
it
more.
should go all the way up. Yeah, it should go all the way up to the prior swing high. It should give us all 48 ticks. We shouldn't have any trouble getting
It
up to
looks
right
like
here.
it.
It's gonna go. It's gonna go. We got 20. We're gonna get 20 or 48. I don't know which one, but looks like 20 maybe. Yep,
It's okay.
20.
Nice job.
And that is it. That's how we're gonna wrap it up for the day today. Right. So I want to say to everyone, I hope you all have a great holiday. Stay safe, make good decisions, and we'll see you all happy and healthy on Monday. All right. Anybody that's got any meetings with me or anybody that needs to get in touch with me, you all have my phone number. I am not driving to Raleigh today, so if you need to get in touch with me, do so. All right. D, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving if I don't talk to you. And
You didn't say the magic words.
I didn't say the magic words. Going to pass it out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. D, you are ready. Now you got to say your magic words.
Okay, recap of the morning session.
Today it took 20 minutes and 6 trades to get to $1,540.
Great job.
Thank you.
Okay, for anybody that tuned in late, we already covered all the markets in depth, but we'll take one last look here at the daily. And we've come down, and it looks like we touched the step line, which we would expect to be support. Right below that, red and fallings turned to blue and climbing. That's potential support. Then the low of yesterday, then the 50% fib extension, and then the daily BVC. Okay. So, to become a member, couldn't be more simple. Send an email to support@cfrn.net. In the subject line, put, I would like to become a member. In the body of the email, put your name, your phone number. We're not going to call you, but Valerie's going to send you an email, chock full of information, and a link. All you got to do is click the link and poof, you're a member. Once you become a passport holder, you'll get 2 hours of live training in an interactive environment in live markets every trading day. Plus, on top of that, you get private one-on-one mentoring at no extra charge. The strategy you learn, the indicators you own as a passport holder, are fluid across all markets and all time frames. Futures, stocks, crypto, Forex, ETF. Doesn't matter because price flows the same across all markets and all time frames. From support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over, again and again. It's a never-ending cycle. You'll also get the Logic 247 alerts around the clock. You get the concierge trade alerts every evening the second they're published. Every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, you get the weekly trading zones. And you'll be able to attend the members only workshop every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you get around the clock support via Telegram. And you get the golden key that opens all the private channels in Telegram. I'm telling you, it's everything a trader needs, all under one roof, one low price. Okay, good word for the day, and we're out of here for the holiday. Don't get distracted. Proverbs 4:25. Let your eyes look straight ahead. To succeed at what God has called you to do, you must do these things. Number 1, remove distractions. This is not easy, as most people now get hundreds of emails, texts, and tweets every day. But you must do it. How? By keeping the discipline of practicing your priorities. Don't accomplish easy things first, or hard things first, or urgent things first. Do first things first. The activities that provide you with the highest return. That way you keep distractions minimized. Number 2, protect yourself from distractions. Allocate blocks of time to think without interruption. Make yourself unavailable so you can work without interruptions. If you're a leader, master the art of balancing the necessity to remain accessible to others with your need to withdraw from them to think. Jesus often withdrew from activities and prayed. One example is in Luke 5:16. To know people's needs, he spent time with people. To meet people's needs, he spent time with God in prayer. As a result, he was always in the right place, at the right time, with the right people, doing the right thing. And that's what you need to do. If you're naturally withdrawn, then make sure you get out among people more often. If you're always on the go, then remove yourself periodically so that you can be refreshed and refocused in order to accomplish what God created you to do. Proverbs 4:25. Look straight ahead and fix your eyes on what lies before you. Mark out a straight path for your feet. Stay on the safe path. Don't get sidetracked. That's our good word for today. And I do hope you all have a wonderful holiday weekend. Don't fall into this foolish trap that people are pushing where if somebody voted for the other person, well, now you can't have Thanksgiving dinner. That's just nonsense, and just don't even bring up politics at the Thanksgiving table. Just be thankful for the friends, for the family, for all the blessings that God has placed in your life. We just spent a whole week devotional on gratitude, the game changer. Think about that tomorrow as you sit and hold hands and pray with everyone before you dive into that turkey. And don't eat too much, okay? Moderation in all things. God bless. Have a great holiday. And I will see you Monday. Yep. Well, I'll see you Sunday night, actually. 6 p.m. Eastern when the markets open.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.